Hello and welcome. Came on here because I thought, oh, I think it's quite an easy session. I've not got that much to do. Well, I'm not so sure it's quite like that. I think we've got quite a lot to do. Right, so it is straight to pedal to the metal. Let's get this done. So I think, did I set the path on this? No, I didn't. Oh, I should have done that. I apologise for this, yeah. Oh. Yeah. I think we've already done 4 metre courses for these. I think it'll not be that nasty a job. So field 8. Oh, we haven't. Oh, okay. My bad. I will do it as a causeway one though, because I can leave it to. I need to do all of this lot as well. Right. So field. Say 5 or 6. Yeah, we'll go 7. None of that. And generate. Yeah, it's about right, I should say. And then field 8, save course, 4 metres. I thought we'd done all of these, to be honest, but obviously not. So we do one first. Right, I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. coming out the time lapse for now because we've got issues with the cannery, which I obviously changed. Oh, I think we've already filled it. We've changed a lot, and it's one of the few. Yeah, I always treat the cannery with respect. It is one of those that I really need to sort of like look after. That it's not unloading. I've just been out and literally restart the machine, come back in, restart the game, not the machine. Yeah, restarted the game and come back in. So I'm hoping that we fixed it. And I thought, I was thinking, yeah, but you've got it working on Frankenmuth. I thought, yeah, but I've got production silos filling it for me. Yeah, I've literally, because we've got production silos all over the place on Frankenmuth, I just throw the stuff straight into the nearest production cycle, and the production cycle then sends it to where it needs to go, which is very, very useful. But obviously it doesn't mean to say, since I did the change and almost everything is working now, I haven't tried loading manually into the... so I've literally been out, tweaked it. Gordon Bennett. Now this is silly, because the John Deere did the same amount. And it's far less horsepower than this. Why is it struggling more than the 300 horsepower John Deere? Does Valtra not make the tractors as good as John Deere? I mean, you know what? It sort of makes a bit of a mockery of the horsepower, doesn't it? Really, it's not like it's got narrows on or anything where you've made some sort of mistake. So is this going to offload now? So we could do the same here, but I'm not going to sort of do that. I want to deal with the problem. So if I need to pop out and have a look, I will do it again. I mean, what I mean is I've already done it, so it should have 2 fill nodes, and it should do it on either one. Yeah, it's only wanting to fill, so it's the loading station's okay, but the unload station doesn't seem to be right. Have we got something on the pallet trigger that's like stopping this happening? That's a bit odd. Or I missed something in my i3D or got a wrong reference or something like that. It's possible. Okay, let's go grab the mover. No, it will work. On the other ones that I've got right, I'll just do that and it'll work straight away. So it really is not working. So I'm going to be right back. Well, this is a bit of a strange one, really. There's no errors. I just tried sort of getting ready to place another one down. I wonder if it is affecting things. Is the lorry on the trigger? I mean, I know triggers are funny things. I've not had this. Yeah, I was since fixing things, I've got not a lot of problems with things now. Really haven't. So this is the first time since making the major change with fixing well, we know that it was this one that I first became aware that things weren't right. So I've literally done everything, all of my models on literally, and all of them are working well. Yeah, but little tiny silo, I missed something and I've gone back in and hopefully that will be now working. But apart from that, it's is it the fact that it shouldn't really affect the fact that it's got loose stuff on that already now that I've obviously just put on there. So, but if it is, we're going to get work through it. It could be that the lorry's on the trigger. That's the bad thing about having a very generous trigger, is that you can have somebody touching it and then it's on, and then that means that the other person who goes onto the trigger, it's not registering. So it could be something like that. It's worth a shot, because I've been in and my bail trigger's right. For obviously there's a lot going on, and you are allowed to sort of do what I've done on this one, where you've got things on both. In other words, this has got 2 points of entry, you could say. I've got the pallet one in the yellow chevrons, and I've got a normal bail trigger inside this one, and I've declared both triggers and they are working. But obviously on this one we can see that for some reason neither is working, which that's a bit odd. I've checked my placement, make sure that it's not below the ground, and it's all spot on. So I should get both yeah, it's not, it refuses, even though, because sometimes that message is wrong, although you normally do get so that is a bit odd. And as I say, there's also no errors. It's mod desk is right, because Giants have upped the mod desk again. Now it has it though. Let me just quickly look. Is that the mistake? Have I made a mistake with one of the mods? And it is that, because you never know. It really is one of those things that, I was saying this yesterday, I fixed my luxury desserts mod, which is like my latest. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, as in, like, it really is. It was a project that was small cannery Mark 3. Let's have a look. Have I increased the mod desk? It is 98. Yeah, no, it's spot on. Yeah, no, so it's not that either. Right, just, yeah, you've sometimes got to do these things. Errors, it's doing none. So that's a little bit odd. Let's go just grab the mover. Let's do this methodically. This has sort of gone beyond now the... I can't remember where you are. You're one of these ones. That's it. Absolutely fine. Yeah, so let's... Ooh, I'm going to have to need to... Well, we can stick this in the... Now then, will this be able to get up the hill? It's doubtful. It's 50 horsepower, although it is sort of a cheaty one, this one. This is one that giants don't allow knots to feel the weight of things, just due to the nature of what it is. So you can see that although that is true, and it has got 24 tons of things on its belt, it's actually allowed to get away with it. You're one of the few mods that is, and that's not me either. That's it. I've literally not changed that kind of function on this. So really, this should also be able to offload into that normally, and it did before. So the only reason it couldn't now is again, he's on the trigger. I've just been talking about triggers, and I know I've left the lorry on the trigger, so it's, yeah. And it was working. Yeah, I literally had it working on other triggers, on other Let's Plays. So, well, that's bizarre. How can some right? We've just had a major update, but yeah, I wouldn't have thought Giants are going to change the unload and unload of things, and I have had it working. So, why all of a sudden are neither trigger working? That is a little bit odd. Yeah, we'll just have to, unfortunately, just chuck it on the ground because we need to... Well, I suppose it's sort of a bit of an indicator. It's not got enough space to offload. It's sort of a bit of an indicator there's a bigger problem than just one thing. And again, did I have issues with this? Wow, it's surprising now. 25 tons of straw is far bigger than you think, isn't it? But that is a bit of it. I want to switch this. Oh no, I want to switch it off because I'm going to grab the straw back up and then we're in trouble. Need to just grab that up. I think I've missed something. It's got to be that. It's got to be. So, yeah, there's something that obvious that I've not done that it's... well, that's odd. So it knows it's allowed to thrash it there. So why is that? Yeah, that is true. It recognised that as somewhere it could drop it, but it's not. The exact fill node's not working. So maybe I can only have one of these. Maybe the game doesn't recognise two, and I was wrong all along, and I need to switch one of them off. So if we keep the one... Yeah, it's a bit of a leap of faith, and I've got to be honest, it was working, so I don't understand why all of a sudden this is no longer working, and it did work, and now all of a sudden it's not unloading from either one, which really means it's what they call the exact fill route node, and I've called this one number 1 and this one like the standard one, and this is not working either. It's like the fact that it's got 2 is like the game's going, nah, you can't do that, mate. But it's not shown any error, but this is the place where you put things in, so therefore it really is about that. Oh, yeah, let's just grab you. Yeah, so what I'm saying is this recognised that was a place to offload. You know, like, because it just sits, doesn't it, normally, unless you're going to... Mind you, I did force tip. No, I did, it's true. Yeah, I did. So if you don't force tip, it will recognise an unload trigger without you doing it. So if we just pick that up, and obviously, hopefully not. Let's switch that off now again. Yeah, if either of these was recognised as a normal tip point, it would naturally... Well, it is. Huh. And it is going in. So that's a little bit odd. So why can that... It's still fitty starty though. This is what we got before. So the game is sort of recognising it as a place, but obviously I needed to go... Well, it seems a bit exact. Like it's only doing it in certain places. Oh, it is as well. It's got a finickety trigger. Yeah, look, it's like one minute little spot. Well, at least it's good news in a way, although as you can see, it's like moaning about it. It's not actually... Let's try another angle, because I've got to be honest, I always find things like this. When you look at the angle that you've got to go in at it, I mean, and at least I know it is actually accepting that this is fill route node 1. Why is the bail trigger not working there? That's the really odd thing. But thankfully the mover did at least show us that there is a place for us to dump, even if it is a bit. Now we've lost it. But it's, yeah. Is it crashed? That's the other thing, is sometimes in these instances I suppose I could remove one and just keep one for now and see, is it that? Because the positions of these, that's the one thing I did check. Now, obviously the weird thing is, why is the bail trigger not working? Again, it could be this, that I've done something that... that was... also recognised, and it wasn't the fill either. There. Shouldn't be like this, of course, we know that, but... Yeah, so right there. And it really is a really specific spot. You have a look on that where that actually is then. It is sort of, yeah, it is this spot really, or is it in between the two? It sort of looks like it's trying to do in between the two, so are they like fighting each other? Is it the fact that you can only have one exact fill route node? Apologise for getting technical, but it's sort of like, yeah, we can see it is actually there, but it is almost, to me, the way that it's like wobbling, you know, like going on and off, is it like fighting between two separate things, and I've done something I shouldn't do? I mean, it was a leap of faith really, and it has been working, so, because it wasn't working properly for a long time. I've had issues for ages, and then obviously I did this change, and then I think it was a small cannery that was working on Frankenmuth at that beginning stage, but then of course we had this major update, and that can throw everything out. So it again, it might just be, yeah, so it is just there. There's a bit of a trigger mark just in that place, and it's sort of like not allowing me to unload. Oh, now it is. Okay. So it's a very finicky trigger. Right, well that we can sort of sort out. Now again, is that exact fill route node 1 or 2? That's the strange thing. So is the self-sufficiency the same? Or I don't know that I might need to take a look at the self-sufficiency. Right, well let's just get this in, and then I'm gonna like scoot off. Yeah, we'll do the other fields next session, definitely. I've got to sort one thing at a time, and it's a pain. We've done 2 fields, it's not bad really. It's also, I realised precision farming's active. I reckon that's probably scuppered our what we've actually got at the minute. So let's just offload everything, even though it's a bit finicky. I think we'll in fact, let's take you up, because in a way this kind of unloading is quite an advantage, because it will only unload when it finds the trigger, which is quite an advantage, which is why I thought I'd try the mover, because it's got that ability to like just offload naturally where there is a trigger, that was, yeah, we could see that. Let's just put that down a minute. Yeah, all the bread and everything. I think we've got a lot to sell. I was looking at the cans of soup. We've got a lot. I mean a lot. So, yeah. I am trying to, now that I've figured out the... let's just get ready to offload. It definitely won't offload in there. So it's somewhere between the two is seemingly the place where this can offload. Let me just see if this can find something here. At all. No, it's not. No, my bad. My bad. We know it can find that. That's definitely okay. Yeah, so it doesn't seem to like the liberty I've taken of like calling it having two sort of field route nodes, even though I thought it had let me do that the other day. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, the start. It's sort of recognising it. That's sort of about... Let's try and get in the same place. So it's a bit difficult from this kind of angle, isn't it? It's sort of about there. And that's what I'm saying. Look at that. It's sort of recognising that it's there. It's trying, which only does that when you're in the right place. So, bottom line is, it is true. There's something. It's that like there is a battle between field route node 1 and field route node. So I've got to switch one of them off by the look of it and call the one that's left the right name. Right. Okay. I know what I've got to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to down tools. I'm going to like sort this problem out, hopefully once and for all. And yeah, I thought I had. I thought we'd already sort of done this, but the selling station or the pallet trigger's not been working for a long time properly. We've seen this. You try to put things down, and things don't go down where they are. I mean, again, it could also be a coincidence. Because when you get these major updates, something that did work now no longer does work, and that's something you can't control. And so you're fighting in the dark, because I got this working before the major update, and everything was working fine, and I thought, yay, finally, I've actually figured it out, it's all working. But now you're seeing all manner of things that aren't working right. So yeah, I shall work through it. So I shall see you. But yeah, I'm going to do me goodbyes. I will, yeah. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. Normal business will be resumed next session. Yeah, and I'm going to say goodbye for now. Right, I'm tacking this on. This actually did work, but I just want to test the other one to see if it's... I've sort of gone out on a limb, because these type of things, if you sort of suspect, obviously normally the game only does one field trigger. Now I, in my cleverness or silliness, I've wanted to do two sort of triggers, where I've got a bale trigger, standard bale trigger, and then like obviously no, I'm not a massive fan of the pallet triggers, the unload triggers, because you're unloading into the ground. Now that goes against the grain for me, which is why I would prefer to do the old trigger as the unloading for me. Now that's the other thing that always confuses me, loading and unloading, because it always seems to be wrong, but obviously it isn't. It would be me. But oh, hang on, this is an empty trailer. Right, yeah, but we can take some from the normal silo where we dumped it early and stick it back in. So this is a bit tight, isn't it? Got like way too much going on here, but it's the other trailer I really need. But it is true, we have got plenty in the other one. So yeah, so just going out on a limb, can we get both triggers working, or does it only recognise one as being right, or does it not care? Because normally in an i3D, sorry to get technical, but in a way, there's something, it's a bit like I was saying about IT, there's certain things you can't really say other than the way that they are. Basically, you're offloading, let's just grab, you're offloading into the hole, you could say, basically. So yeah, this is the one we offloaded a lot. So I've basically said that there are two holes, but I've called them the same name because it didn't seem to like having exact fill root node 0, like, as in you don't have a number, and then exact fill root node 1. It didn't seem to like that. Now, the other day I tried this and it seemed to be alright. Now it doesn't seem to like it. So I'm going to see, I've got both of them are called. Now the triggers were a bit too close as well, so that may have also had a thing. And these are all things I'm learning, the things that, you're not sure about. So is this recognised as a dump place now? No, it's not. So it's almost like if you've got a selling station, it likes that's your dump place, or yes, I suppose I could go out now and see if I can make this. All we need to do is see that is, and it's not moving. It's solid as a rock. The other thing is, I could shift. I could put the grates. We could have that as an unloading only, and we could stick that loading grate on the production thing. Well, what I mean is that's just decoration, so it doesn't really matter because I don't like dumping that. All I want is a place to dump, but I would also like the grates. I'm not a massive fan of not having the grate, so, but that's definitely not working. So I'm just going to go and make one more change, because if this doesn't pop now, because the dump and the filling, we know it's two different things, so it's showing that the unloading is, or loading, whichever one the Giants classes that one. I think it's loading. It's loading into you, and the unloading is me unloading into it. So I think that is right, thinking about the i3D file and the way it looks. So we can see it can load because we're getting the action start filling. So I'm just going to pop out, going to be right back, and then yeah, hopefully it'll either work or it won't, and then all I need to do is shift the grates to the production silo, or move that fill root node over to there, which would be better. It didn't seem to care about that, so that, as long as you've got one place to dump, it's more about me getting this model right, and then I know what I've got to do, and all of them if this has like gone wrong again. So yeah, be right back. Right, moment of truth. Is there only allowed one fill trigger? So we'd have to come off the trigger as well. As we all know, it's got an on-off switch sort of. So yeah, we're off the trigger. And if we go on to the other one, exact fill root node, like what it's always called, exact fill root node. Now that's getting the dump clear and solid as a rock. So then, is the other one, or are you only allowed one? Is it that simple? Is it really that, that is the case? In which case, if I go onto this one, I'm not going to get a sausage, because the game's not going to recognise this as a dump point, because it's only allowed one. Yeah, that is seemingly it. It didn't like it as exact fill root node. It looks like the game looks for one. Now the thing is, obviously this is a production point, so if you have a production point, obviously it is the top dog. So I would have thought that also had a part to play in this. Obviously it's like trying to figure through the logic in Giants Mind. Now this is not a silo like this is, so it's a different set of rules. So it really is as simple as that. So all I really need to do is doesn't matter about leaving this one here because it's not working. But if I shift this yellow chevron and this onto this one, the bottom line is the game will recognise this. That way I don't need to worry about, like, yeah, this, all I need to do is shift that and then this should work. So this should be the final time I come back in the game, because all I need to do is shift that, and then I'm happy because I've got a grate where it looks like it's going into, whereas really it's going into the pallet one. But at least I've got the realism that I'm always been wanting, of it not loading into the ground, into like a, just disappearing into the ground, which all we know it's a game, but if you're trying to immerse, which I am, then that's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, let's get this sorted. Hopefully last time and this time it should work. Well, we've seen it works, so it really is a matter of me just physically shifting that location to that location, which that's not so tricky, and then we should be alright. But I just want to see whether the original one fights, or whether basically Giants, it's in limbo and it doesn't matter that it's there, because really the only thing that's important to this is that particular box. So yeah, I shall be right back. Yeah, I'm starting the cameras a little early because this is one of those sort of moments, a pivotal moment as a modder, where you're realising, and I just want to sort of say that, but I don't like to just do this without showing yourselves what I'm learning. I don't mind making a bit of a fool of myself if, like, you know, I like to do so in front of you. That might sound a bit strange. So really, you can see I've now stuck everything is over that one. I've got the yellow chevrons that are showing on that. They don't need to be quite that big, but that's not really the point. That's showing you really how big the places where we're dumping this into, and I can make that the gutter link node or that grate as big as that, really. So we can see that we're getting the dump. Now, obviously that mark has moved from over here, that where we saw it dumping before, we've shifted that. It's like no longer, yeah, you're getting nothing there now. That's because it shifted. But it does appear that there can only be, and this is what I'm saying, the pivotal moment where you as a modder make a realization, those eureka moments where you like think, oh, right, okay, that's what I was doing wrong. This is what I need to do to make it work, because it's not a silo, even though it looks like a silo. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's that, yeah, and that's working fine, seemingly. Can we shove it all? Yeah, straight away, and there's no shenanigans. It's also, that's the pallet trigger, so it should find that we can drop things in it. Have we got a pallet of anything we can actually do anything with, just to prove that fact? So I need to do the same to the self-sufficiency. Basically, all we need to do is exact field route node, as it calls it, has to be, you see, I've got it 1. This pallet 1 has to be exact field route node 1, and then exact field route node. Let's get specific. Is there anything we can stick in that in a pallet form, like a pallet of? No, there isn't, there? Just to prove it. Yeah, because obviously I'm going to need to do what I've learnt here across all of my silos. Is there a way we can... We've not got any flour, have we, out? Otherwise we could like literally grab the flour thing and stick that. But these are all bread. Well, bread... should bread go back in? No, I don't... that is a good point. I am not sure if I've put bread as to go back in as well or not. Also, this is a vehicle trigger, but it doesn't care about that. I know I got a bit hung up about that. I said, oh, it's a vehicle trigger, it needs to be on a vehicle. Well, it sort of technically does, but if you get this right, it doesn't care, it just like goes in. So again, is this... and the other thing is, I have done some models differently. So have I put this as the exact field route node on here? In which case they will disappear if they're supposed to. Now they're not, so, but they're not disappearing anywhere. So that means perhaps I haven't got bread as going back in to the silo, which sort of in a way makes a bit of sense. But you can do it, but it can. But I don't know why you would. I suppose because you want to put it back inside the silo. Now then, what can we prove? Eggs. Eggs are a pallet. That will do. So if we go grab a thing of eggs, it will just prove to me once and for all that trigger is now right. And I say I apologise. This is for me as a modder, really, to sort of really bash into my head exactly how Giants are saying this should go, because obviously I've mixed 2 models together, a silo and a production sort of silo, and I really need to know. Now it's weird. Now we all know that these chickens used to come outside. Now inside my model, I didn't change anything, and yet look at them, they're all back inside there now. It's crazy. It really is. And in my model, it's yeah, again, this is something that since the update all of a sudden has changed. And even in my nav mesh and in my, it sort of has 2 nav meshes now. It has a mini one inside the actual mod, and to be honest, that's the boss. Yeah, it used to have a proper nav mesh, and although it's got it, being a bit of a studier of Farmer Bob, who is an absolute expert, basically says that in FS22 and FS25, it no longer takes any notice whatsoever of the real nav mesh, which is actually a bit of a loss for the game. because it was a means of control of you as a modder telling exactly where those animals could walk. So now they just walk in a field, but what happens if you put a tree in the field? Then you're going to see a cow walk through the tree. Now that's bad. So I've no idea why Giants have made the game worse, but they have. You used to have exact control. Now you can just like wander them around. Now I've seen this, and I always wondered why Rawley Christie was a really good modder, made a real schoolboy error. Now so what I'm saying is a non-modder. Yeah, and what I'm saying is this is how you look at things, and you think, because you don't know the rules that these modders are playing under. I was thinking, why does the cows go through the fence and like they're in the area in the middle of the thing, and I'm driving through a cow to like dump the total mixed ration, its food. No, this is the right one. So if I'm right, they should disappear. Yeah, spot on. So we're right. We figured it out completely and utterly. Yeah, so obviously I thought, well, why is a good model like Rawley Christie not getting this, why has he got cows wandering in the middle? Well, that's because it's part of the place where they wander. And because he's chosen for you could argue the fact, then why did he not choose to unload somewhere else? Yeah, okay, there's a valid point there. That's the only thing. But I've got to be honest. I suppose for these modders like Rawley Christie that did come from FS19 as well, where everything worked in a certain way, I'd imagine that bakes your noodle a bit as a modder, because it has done mine. Me to grasp what I've grasped now, it's massive. And I'm like, okay, right, I know how it works then. So you can only have one place called exact field route, and it doesn't care about the number. And basically, it really follows the production silo, which you'd imagine, because it is a production silo, that it would. So even though I've got, this is a silo model, it's not following that model anymore. So it's the selling station, as it's called, inside the i3D and the XML file, which is king in a production sort of thing. And obviously I've got to separate in my head, these two models are completely different. Yeah, although this looks like a silo, which is probably part of the problem in your head, why you look at that and you think it's a silo. It's not. It's a production silo. It's a production point, and obviously it follows a different set of rules. So I think the point has finally dropped in my head, so I apologise, and thank you for putting up with me, but I'm not going to go on about it again. Well, I'm not, I might a little, but this is me after all said and done. But I'm not going to belabour the point. I've learned the lesson. So I've already said my goodbyes. Just wanted to share this with you, though. I don't like making these eureka moments, because the other thing is, I think the Let's Plays will be better for me knowing this, and as a modder that it'll be better for me knowing this as well. So it's sort of like I've got to separate the two units in my head, even though this looks... I've also got a few nice models. I'm not sure whether to obviously... I mean, to be honest, these do look a little bit used. I love the grungy green at the bottom that always sort of shows it as a used silo. And that's... If I'm selling these as cheap silos from reclaimed materials, then you've got to have a bit of that. I can't have it all beautiful, as in like it's totally gorgeous and it doesn't look a bit scabby, because then so these are going to be like that. But I have got a couple of models that are sort of like real works of art. Now this is what I call the square silo. This I like. I think this is beautiful. I don't think it's going to look square either, because I think it's this one. Yeah, it is. This one I really like the modelling, but again it sort of goes against like the premise of like reclaimed material, because that's like walnut, or no, it's mahogany. It's mahogany wood. Now you would never build a silo out of mahogany wood, it's too expensive. But what I'm saying is the modelling on it is quite gorgeous and very unique. But sort of I created it and I thought, oh, that's really nice, I like that. But that's the problem. It's a little bit too nice, isn't it, for someone who's using reclaimed materials. So I don't know what to do, because I really like it, and I do like the fact that shouldn't the game be a celebration of beauty? As a modder, shouldn't I really be aiming for that kind of thing, so that it's But again, I can't sell you that at like 17,000 as a, if I'm using mahogany woods. And it's gorgeous because I'm quite sure that mahogany wood's probably cost me about 50 grand to just buy all the materials, so I can hardly sell it to you at a profit, or even a just breaking even for 17, could I? That would be like just silly. So yeah, I'm unsure as to what to do, but just I would like to obviously do some of these better mods, and I definitely going forwards I'd like to go for the square silo, but obviously I've got to be truthful. I probably would do that for the ones I go ahead forward with, rather than the ones that I've already got, because you've got to change your collisions, and there's a lot of work involved in that. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't be like beyond the realms of possibility, and also I can physically bring the shape in. Yeah, that's true, I can actually just bring the shape in, but I still do need them to look a bit grungy, otherwise I can't sell them at 17,777 as reclaimed materials if it's made of mahogany wood. So yeah, I shall deliberate on this dilemma, and we shall yeah, we shall sort of see a few changes like that going forwards, where we've gone for British. Yeah, the other one, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I have. I'm not sure it's in yet. It's called the street. No, it should be. Yeah, there should be 2 luxury desserts, but they're not. Actually, one's completely different. This is going to be my straw factory. It's literally, I've started to do it, obviously, as you can see here, straw factory by Industries, but it's still using at the minute the innards of the luxury desserts, hence what you can see coming in. It's really good. Its main innard is going to be straw, and it's going to be making reclaimed straw boards. These are real things. I did my research on this, and I thought, in Farmer Simulator, one of the biggest waste products that we sort of often, if you've got a massive farm, you don't really need all of that straw, and you don't need all that straw, and there's nothing you can do with it really of any value. You can sell it, the straw bales, and someone will basically, give you a pittance for all of that straw that you've taken hours to bale, or, if you've got it loose. And most people, farms, used to just burn it. Well, to be honest, you can actually make those boards that you can see actually on that, they're actually straw boards. You can make the fibre, obviously you glue. That's the other aspect of this. It's going to have a greenhouse. It's going to need, it's called guar beans, and it makes natural glue. So you need, for a resin board of any kind, you need obviously it's got glue, and it's got the constituent parts, the fibres that make the boarding. So obviously this is materials, building materials made from straw, which actually they did that thousands of years ago. In the Bible, it makes mentions of the Israelites gathering straw to make bricks for the Egyptians. So although we today think, ooh, straw bricks, well, actually it was done that way thousands of years ago, and the Egyptians knew how to build. So right, yeah, it really is that simple. The other thing is you can make cutlery and plates, and they're obviously biodegradable, made from natural products, and they are even looking into doing clothes. Now we know about straw hats and baskets, so I'm going to do straw hats, straw baskets, and we're going to do building material boards. And which for that we also need the glue, the guar glue. So that's going to be literally a greenhouse that comes with it. I don't know, do we do it all as one, or like you place the whole shebang? Or I think I'm going to give people the control. I think we'll keep them separate so that you can do what you like with them and put them where you like. So this is my next production type product, and now I know what I'm doing, as in I've actually done this before with the luxury desserts, and it's actually working now. Yeah, this one is actually yeah, I'm gonna say good man. I thought I've destroyed this. I finally got this going where I know what what I did wrong, and I fixed it. So now I know that, a bit like what we just done on this. Then again, these are 2 productions that I'm going to put up on the mod of the luxury desserts, definitely, because that's completely, in fact, if I just show you just for 1 minute, as a modder, if you were going to look at something, if you do this and you put this down, it will, in fact, yeah, let me try and pick one that's broken slightly. The cement factory is broken, so let me just show you No, it's actually further on. It's 27,000. So the cement factory is broken. So this is what you get with a mod that's not right. Makers maybe have a little error. No, it's not. You've fixed everything. It's all good. Oh, okay. We did have the cement factory in, has it? But I've broken it completely. Bionic. Grapes and oils. Cement factory. Oh, it's got the. It looks like the self-sufficiency. Now you see. Also, you can see that. Now that tells you that's broken. If you can see the smoke, as giants call it, that grey, which is obviously the effect that you get, if you can see that, you immediately know this is broken. So that's telling you, like, oh my life, what have you done to me? You've broken me, you absolute wally. But that's what you see if something's wrong. So if we then go to we'll go the wrong way. If we go to the luxury desserts and you pull that out, oh look, there's no errors, not a single one. It's not moaning to me about that it's got the wrong field types. It's not moaning to me that nothing's wrong at all. So that's ready for, like, literally putting in the mods up. Let's just switch that off because it is annoying to everyone. Yeah, so that is something I'm going to quickly put up. Literally, in fact, I might do it Monday morning because I'm quite happy with it, and it's now working. We've seen the pallets coming through for everything. Are they 5-ton pallets? So I'm thinking of you loading and unloading, and going forwards, because I'm insisting on loading, unloading everything manually. I'm going to make all of my pallets 5-ton pallets. So yeah, we'll get this done next time. So I need to sort out my self-sufficiency, and then really we will be going forwards in quite a good place. So yeah. So I'm going to leave it there. So yeah, hopefully you'll join me next session where I promise no more rear bashing about this. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to say goodbye again. Goodbye for now.